Hey, welcome back. This is Dr. Christine of Change Your Mind, Change Your Life. This is where you come to learn to rewire your brain to overcome chronic pain and chronic functional symptoms that have developed over time as the result of neuroplasticity or the neural circuit loop or mind-body conditions. So welcome. I'm very glad that you're here. Today's topic, it's going to involve a little bit of reflection, but then also a really nice, comforting, and empowering exercise that you can do that will be part of this healing process. Because we already know that the perception of danger, the perception of a lack of safety is a very major component in any form of chronic pain or any form of chronic functional symptom, that also means that overcoming chronic pain and overcoming chronic symptoms involves teaching your brain to feel safer, to feel more at ease, to feel more secure. Now, over a lifetime, whether it was many small incidents that happened over a lifetime or larger traumas, your brain decided that it did not feel safe, and you began to not feel safe in your body or on this planet or in your home. And these perceived messages of danger caused your brain to go into overdrive in an attempt to keep you safe, which kind of locked in beliefs and attitudes and behaviors to create, that's why they call it a neural circuit loop. It's a combination of the brain perceiving the environment, which is then compelling actions and behaviors that lock in the chronic pain and the chronic symptoms. So the exercise is to maybe just sit quietly for a couple minutes and ask yourself, or even ask the inner child within you, the 4 or 5-year-old version of you, what did that little kid need at the time to feel safe but didn't get it? Maybe it was messages of affirmation from your parents. Maybe it was messages that you were good enough. Maybe it was just hearing, I love you and I'll take care of you. Maybe you grew up in a really rough environment that actually had true dangers to your well-being, like a physically abusive environment, or an environment that had alcohol or substance abuse problems, or a very unsafe neighborhood with high crime rates, or a war-like conditions. Whether there was the potential to actual physical danger to your body, or whether it was the perception of danger by not receiving emotionally the messages that you needed to hear, things throughout your upbringing caused your brain to not feel safe. And some of these reasons were legitimate, but then some of these reasons are also just perceived dangers. Now, after you get quiet for a few minutes and get some of these answers, the next step can be very empowering, because the next step is to think, I am an adult now. I can provide for myself what I needed when I was a child but did not get or did not perceive to get. If it was messages of love, that means flood yourself with messages of self-love and to actually feel it. And I don't mean a puffed up, I'm the most amazing person in the world. That is not self-love. Self-love is accepting yourself for who you are, for loving yourself in spite of the flaws that you have, for giving yourself credit for an understanding and compassion, for knowing that you've always done the best that you can, and that you always operated on the knowledge that you had at the time to do the best that you could. Now you know differently, and you can do differently when faced with similar life questions. So what messages of safety emotionally and mentally did you not receive as a little kid that were necessary, that you really needed? Give those to yourself now. Give those to your, in a quiet meditation sort of setting, you can give those messages to your imaginary younger self, but also give those messages to your adult self right now. There is a future self, a future version of yourself that already believes these things. That future version of yourself, you can imagine that future version giving your current version and your younger version these messages of safety, belonging, being good enough, being loved. The other thing is, if you did grow up in an environment that was physically unsafe, please remind yourself that was then, this is now, that you are an adult now, that you can provide your safety, that you can turn to others for safety, that you have the resources necessary for safety. If you are currently in an unsafe environment, please, please reach out to experts that can help you. None of this involves candy coating a dangerous situation and forcing yourself to stay in it. You as an adult now are your own protector. Other people are not going to do that for you, but over time you will become strong, grounded, sure enough of yourself to be your own protector. Now, in addition to incorporating this into a meditative type practice, you can just use these ideas of safety and belonging and being good enough as a mantra throughout your day. You can leave yourself little sticky notes to remind yourself of the messages that you need to hear. You can write these things out in a journal. The important thing is to continually, with repetition, not with preoccupation or obsessing, but just with gentleness and repetition, giving yourself messages of safety that you did not receive as a child. And these things will all help to dial down the fight or flight system and help your brain better differentiate perceived danger from true danger. And these things will help to dial down your level of pain and your level of functional chronic symptoms. All right, thanks for being here. Look forward to this, because to give yourself messages of safety really does feel good, calming, and comforting. All right, my friends, before you go, please hit that subscribe button. I very much thank you. It gives feedback to me to know that you want more of this content. And really, that is my purpose, is to help you learn how to overcome your chronic pain and your chronic symptoms. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.